Arabic. And my project's about Islamophobia. Next slide. Okay, so Islamophobia is the dislike or prejudice against Muslims or Islam. So personal story. In the summer of 2015, I went to Johns Hopkins for like a summer program, kind of like Summer of a Lifetime, which you guys will eventually go to the freshman year. And there I met like a lot of people from all over the world. And some of the people I was closest with were from Middle Eastern countries. And I tend to stick around them. And I learned a little about Islam. And I got to pray with them and everything. And after coming home, I decided to revert to Islam. So I became a Muslim. So my question is, why are law-abiding American Muslims held responsible for extremist actions? I asked the audience. So, Ellen, why do you think that everyday Muslims are held responsible for terrorist attacks?
To respond to your question, I really think they have like a different point of views. I mean, like when you said Muslim, I was like really shocked because you're my wife, you already know that. But like as me, like I'm a Catholic, and I really don't understand like your background of your religion and stuff like that. But it's like I feel like but for like Americans, like we should hear all different types of like religion, not just Muslim, but other stuff.
Jalen, what do you think? Why are everyday Muslims held responsible for terrorist attacks?
You see it in the media all the time that they're like portrayed to like be against like terrorists,
Isaac.
My baby.
The average American just finds it hard to forget. So like 9/11 is constantly brought up, and I guess the notion that all Muslims are bad is also brought up.
Next slide. Okay, so Isaiah is pretty much where I was at with 9/11. So you guys all know what 9/11 was. It was kind of a turning point for Islamophobia in America. It really, I mean, Islamophobia was a problem before because, I mean, when there's anybody that's different, they tend to be ostracized. But because of this situation that every American knows about, and if you're not really exposed to other Muslims, and this is the only thing you've ever heard about Islam, then this tends to be what you associate with Islam. Next slide. So in a recent poll by The Guardian, it was found that 11 out of 20 people have an unfavorable opinion of Islam. This includes the people who are also indifferent. Next slide. Okay, so raise your hand if you've heard that all Muslims aren't terrorists, but all terrorists are Muslim. You ever heard that quote before? Okay, so this pie chart was put together by the FBI to basically show these are all representative of terrorist attacks since 1998, between the years 1998 and 2005. So you can see here, this is Islamic extremists. So those are the 9/11s and things like that. As you can see, I mean, they make up a very small percentage of all of the terrorist attacks. And in fact, actually, so it's a 1 in 2 million chance that you're going to be killed by a Muslim extremist. And then it's also a 1 in 16 million chance you'll be killed by a dog. So you're more likely to be killed by a dog than be killed by an Islamic extremist in America. Next slide. Okay, so because of people's fear against Muslims, for Muslims, it often results in like a lot of violence. So, for example, like mosque bombings and bullying in schools, it was found that 55% of Muslim students in California were bullied for wearing hijabs, the women. And it also leads us to protest against Muslims, as you can see up there at the top. And also, it was found that even our own government, as like state governments, at the NYPD in New York, it was found that they were putting surveillance on regular everyday Muslims. It was just suspicionless, and now the whole NYPD is under investigation. Next slide. So this has a bigger effect on Muslim women because the Quran tells us to cover ourselves and cover our hair, basically interpreted that way. So now it's found that 500,000 American Muslims, or 48% of the Muslim women in America, do not wear a hijab. This is partly because of cultural differences, like when you're changing and you and your friends are like dressing cute and you have to put on something, you don't want to do that. That tends to happen with teenagers. And also because people are afraid that, because the hijab identifies you as a Muslim, and they're afraid that that they're going to be bullied or ostracized for it. So how do we make people feel more comfortable around Muslims to reverse the effect of 9/11? Can you play the video?
Hey! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
Does your fear of Muslims get in the way of living a normal life?
No! He's coming!
Did he call the Uber?
Yeah, we'll take the next one. It's fine.
All right.
You saw the app.
I didn't know. I didn't know. It said no. I didn't know.
Do you judge people by their outer appearance? Introducing Islamophobia, now in an easy and convenient chewing gum. Starts working within 5 minutes to relieve bigotry and intolerance. Call your doctor if your Islamophobia worsens or you have hallucinations that discrimination isn't real. Side effects include fondness, brotherhood, acceptance, loss of bigotry, increase in rationality, and possible denouncement of superiority.
I didn't realize I had a problem, but admitting is the first step.
Islamophobia worked for me. Ask your doctor if it's right for you.
Okay, so if we could make it into like a gum or a pill, that would help a lot, actually. But it's not that easy. Can you go to the last slide? Okay, so what we really have to do is we just have to coexist. Not everybody is going to believe the same things. Like Ellie says, she's Catholic, and I'm Ellie's friend, and I'm Muslim. So we just have to learn how to put differences aside and work together. So the first thing we can do is, the freshmen in the back haven't had world history yet, but for the seniors who have, in 10th grade we learned about all of the different religions, and we actually had to do like a chart comparing them, and we found that a lot of the things were the same. I think that that should be implemented in like all CPS schools, so we can understand that we're not that different. Also, it starts with, it has to start young. Because most of the impressions that people got of Muslims were in 9/11 was in like 9/11 when we were all younger. So I think by even like putting Muslims on like kids TV shows wouldn't be a bad idea. So we can learn at a younger age that people who are different are just as great. And also raising awareness about things like I showed you, like the pie chart, that Muslim people are not a threat to everyday Americans. And shukran, that's my presentation. Thank you.